When you're an astronaut in space, you don't have access to the same natural resources that we have here on Earth. You have to bring your own food and you have to reuse water. That means you need a water filtration system. Water filtration systems take non-potable water, non-potable means not safe to drink, and they turn it into potable water. And potable, of course, does mean safe to drink. Potable water is vital for human survival. Unfortunately, many people around the world lack access to clean water. But some of the same technology developed for the space station can be used to support at-risk areas and provide needy people with water filtration systems, making a life-saving difference in these communities. The system developed by NASA effectively recycles wastewater used aboard the space station, which eliminates the need for astronauts to go out and get more water. It's simply not possible for astronauts to go out and get fresh, clean water during long-duration space flights. Without the water filtration system, NASA wouldn't be able to keep astronauts alive. It is literally vital to their health. Part of the process is to treat the water with iodine, which provides a simple way to control microbial growth in water without the use of power. As a bonus, the iodine put into the water performs an important nutritional function. Iodine promotes proper brain functions and maintains bodily hormone levels, which regulate cell development and growth. This advanced filtration system developed by NASA has been used not only in space, but across the world to help communities that struggle to find clean water. For today's activity, you're going to design and develop your own water filtration system. Now be careful, because the water that you use, that you filter through, probably won't be drinkable, so you don't want to actually drink it. But you are going to be able to smell it and make observations about it that you write down on your data chart. It should be noticeably cleaner and clearer after it goes through your filtration system. The first thing you want to do is create a data chart. And I set mine up this way. I encourage you to do yours the same. So the top part of your data chart is going to have properties, clean water, gray water, that just means dirty water. And then this is for gray water after filter number 1 and gray water after filter number 2. And then down here, this is where you'll record your properties. So you need a place for odor, one for appearance, and if you have pH strips at home, do one of these columns as well, or rows as well, for pH. If you don't have pH strips, don't worry about it, you don't have to do that row. If you do have pH strips, this is your pH chart that shows you what the different colors mean. You can refer to this one, or you can look up another one online to judge your pH. You need quite a few supplies for this. Most important is you're going to need a 2-liter bottle with the bottom cut off. You're going to want a liquid measuring cup, probably a spoon. You're going to want a ruler, cheesecloth if you have it. If not, maybe we can think of a substitute for you. And then you're going to want the actual filtration devices themselves. You can use a lot of different things for this. Basically anything that you can stuff inside of your water bottle that the water can kind of trickle through. I'm going to use marbles, coffee filters, and cotton balls. Now, if you don't have all those things, that's okay, don't worry about it. Some other options are you can take toilet paper and you can ball it up and make a bunch of those, kind of like the cotton balls would be. You could do the same thing with paper towels if you wanted to, or napkins. You can find ways to make this work, even if you don't have exactly what I have. You're also going to need some clean water, and I'm going to show you how to make dirty water, or gray water. And you'll need some large plastic cups. These are actually too small. I want you to get ones bigger than this if you can. I'm going to use these cups because these are larger, but then you can't see inside of them, so I'm going to pour some of the water into the clear cup so I can see it after I collect it in my large cup. Take your water bottle, make sure the cap is off, and place it face down in one of your cups. Remember, it's better if you have a clear cup, but I'm just going to use this because it's what I have. You're going to take your 3 filtration materials and you're going to make 3 different layers inside of here. Each layer should be about 2 inches. So use your ruler and figure out how much 2 inches is for each layer going up. So now you take your filtration materials, and for each layer it's one particular filtration material. So let me start with my coffee filters. Throw them here. Okay, and that's about 2 inches. For my next layer, I'm going to use marbles. I'll just throw them right in. That's all the marbles I have. I don't know if that's 2 inches. Not exactly, but it's going to work. It'll have to work. And then I'm going to take my third layer. I'm going to use cotton balls. I'll put a bunch of these guys in. That's maybe 2 inches, maybe a little bit more, so I'll take a few out. Okay, that's about 2 inches up from that marble layer, so I think I'm good. Now I'm going to measure out 1.5 cups of clean water. You want to start with your clean water. Save your gray water for later. Ding, got it. Back to your chart now. So you're going to start with clean water, and now do your observations for all 3 of these categories, or just 2 if you don't have pH strips. So odor, what does your water smell like? Whoa! It doesn't seem to have any smell at all. Alright, no smell. Appearance, looks clear to me. And your pH strips, you might have something that looks kind of like this. This is a pH chart, very handy. And you take one of your pH strips, if you have one, dip it in the water, hold it for about 20 seconds. Okay, now you can see it turns sort of, it's mostly still yellow, but still a bit of a green color. So let me reference my chart. Yep. I think it's about there, about a 7. So I'm going to write down a 7 for my pH. Now your clean water is a great test to make sure that your filtering device actually works. So you're going to pour all of your clean water through the filter here and wait for it to drip down to the bottom and just make sure it works. It's working. It's probably going to be pretty slow for all that water to go through. While we're waiting for that to finish, let's make our dirty water, or our gray water. So you're still going to need a 1.5 cups of clean water to start with, and then take whatever you're going to put into it to make it filthy. I'm going to use soil. I've heard that some people use Italian dressing, or any kind of salad dressing really. I guess you just spray it in there a few times and stir it around and it'll become gray. So that's one option that you could use if you don't have soil. I'm going to try soil. It should make it pretty brown and muddy. That looks dirty, doesn't it? Wouldn't want to drink that. Okay, now do your observations on your gray water. So let's see, odor. Kind of musty. Appearance. That looks brown to me. Chunky. And pH. So let me get my pH test strip, a new one. I imagine the pH will be about the same because it's just dirt added to clean water, but we'll see. Okay, here it is. You can see a little dirt on it, but you don't want to worry about that. You're just looking for the color of the strip, and this one seems perfectly yellow to me. So I think, let's see, maybe that's like a 5, or probably somewhere in between these 5 and 7 colors. I'm going to put it down as a 6. Alright, so my clean water is pretty much done filtering. You can't see it in the blue cup, so here's what it looks like. Still looks clean to me. Okay, I don't have room on my chart to do another observation of my clean water, so I'm just going to move on, and now I'm going to filter my gray water. Oh, look at the chunks of dirt up there. Gross. But that means our filter's working. It's catching all that stuff. Look at it coming out. Doesn't that look clear? Coming out? Amazing. Okay, my first filtering of the gray water is pretty much finished. So I'm going to take my filter off and I'll show you what the new gray water looks like. You saw brown going in. Now look at it. It's almost entirely clear. I'm going to make some observations now on my chart. Alright, so gray water after filter number 1. So let's see. Odor. Still a little musty, but less musty. Appearance. It's no longer brown. It's no longer chunky. I think that's really more of like a clearish grayish color. Not clear exactly. And then I don't know if you can see, but there are little specks of soil in there, so I better write that down on my appearance too. Specks of soil. Okay, pH test time. Go. That looks like the same color as before, so I'm going to write down the same number from my chart. 6. Okay, now it's time to move on to filter number 2. I'm going to use a new cup. Okay, now I'm taking my filtered water from the first round and I'm just going to put it right back through. You can see it coming out. Looks even clearer than before. You know what? I forgot all about my cheesecloth, but that's okay. It still works without it. If you do have cheesecloth and you wanted to use it, obviously you don't have to, but you would just take some cheesecloth and put it around here where the water actually comes out to add as an extra filtration device for you. Alright, so I'm finished with filter number 2. Now I'm going to take a look at my water and I'm going to do my observations again. There you go, you can see it. Let's go to the data chart. Okay, so I did my my second filtration, I mean. It came out worse than before. That's alright. I wrote down my observations here. It didn't have any odor. It was grayer than the first time around, and it still had those specks of dirt in it. So I wrote that down under appearance. And my pH, the strip was exactly the same as a 6. So I got all my observations down. I think that because my filter was so filthy, the second round just couldn't be cleaner than the first round. So maybe I should have cleaned this out before round number 2. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. We're just doing observations. We're not actually filtering for people to drink our water, so we're just learning how to do it. So make sure that you do your chart at home. Use your water filtration device with whatever materials you have. If you don't have exactly what I had, you can still make it work. You can be creative and you will be successful. So here you go. Have fun. Have a great day.